What's up, everybody? Today, we are doing a video that you guys have really wanted to see for quite a while. Today, we're going to do my tier list on all Fortnite seasons ranked. As I said, there's a lot of them that I haven't played, so let's jump into it. Alright, so first off, this list does not have Chapter 1, Season 1. If it was here, I would play it and didn't play. So, we have a lot of seasons I had to put in didn't play. We have Season 2 I didn't play, Season 3. There's so many seasons I didn't start playing until Chapter 3, Season 1. Season 4 I didn't. Hold on one second. No. Oh, sorry. Okay. Orange Season 6. You. Alright. So we got all those in there. Let's get into the ranking. As I said, I started playing in Chapter 3, Season 1. And this season, so by the way, here's our list. We got S being amazing tier. Like, it's one of the best seasons ever. A is a great tier. B is good. C is solid. D is bad, and F is horrible, as we know. Okay, so Chapter 3, Season 1. I honestly am deciding between S or A tier here. This season was really, really good. What I remember about this season was there was a big controversy, especially with the spray weapons. People really complained about that, with the MK7 AR and Stinger SMG both being in the game, and shotguns being very weak. It was a weird meta. I don't know if people necessarily liked it, but I thought the season was great. The Winterfest was awesome. Man, that was so fun. When I started playing the game, playing that Winterfest, the Spider-Man mythics were so fun. So mobility, moving around the map quick. You know, the games felt fast. It was good pace, I felt like. I just overall really enjoyed the season. I think the updates were exceptional. I mean, and the map was great too. Like, we got Tilted Towers back, Covert Cavern, Colombo. Like, this season it has to be S. I don't know how it's not. I mean, maybe if you thought that the spray weapons got annoying, I can understand why you put it A or B. But I think anything below B, I don't understand how you'd rate the season anything below B. It's one of the best seasons I've ever played. All right, on to Chapter 3, Season 2. Now let's talk about this one. This season is very low rated on Fortnite.gg. And a lot of the rankings I have, I'm going to talk about these seasons being underrated. When I say underrated, it's going to be because it's rated low on Fortnite.gg. I'm comparing basically my tier list to what the main player base's tier list is on Fortnite.gg, which is basically how the community overall feels about a season, based on an average of the votes. It's like a democracy, right? But I thought this season was a lot better than people thought it was, or thought. I remember this season vaulted the MK7 and brought in the Striker Burst, which was better for the loot pool balancing standpoint. I remember the Striker and Auto Shotgun got a really nice buff this season, so the shotguns were definitely better build mode wise. The SMGs were still really strong, so maybe that was a little annoying. But this season again had great updates. Were they a little repetitive? Yeah, but the season felt fast. It felt good pace. I think the map changes could have been better. I'm gonna put this season, and I know some of y'all won't agree with me. I'm gonna put it in great. I like this battle pass too. I thought like I said, updates were great. They're a little repetitive. Map changes were okay throughout the season, but I thought the reason I'm putting the season in great is it was good. I mean, it was enjoyable. I enjoyed this entire season. Plus, Zero Build came out, and that was like a big time turning point. I mean, that was so fun. I mean, I remember like the SMGs, like talked about how strong they were. You didn't carry a shotgun in Zero Build this season, and I just really thought this was a complete season. The Anvil launcher came, the heavy snipe, a lot of cool things came this season. I think it's an A tier season, but again, I still think they could have done more. The season has wasted potential in a way, that keeps it from being one of the best seasons ever. And I think this one really should have been the best season ever if Fortnite were to do all the things that they had an opportunity to do. Better map changes, less repetitive updates. I think the season, if it didn't have those issues, you can call them issues if you'd like. I think the season would have been potentially a big talk for one of the best seasons ever, but unfortunately, it is not. And now we're on to Chapter 3, Season 3. Now, yeah, I know the season's pretty hated. It's I think it's like the bottom 8 of a season for people in this community. Bottom 8? This season, bottom 8. I'm going to put it in B. I want to rename C to... Man, why are we calling C a solid season? Okay. Alright. But still, why do we have the season as one of the worst seasons of the game? It wasn't that bad. I mean, this season, I think, its wasted potential was the summer update. Yeah, the summer update sucked. But I remember this season, there were great map changes. There were changes everywhere throughout the season. We were getting, like, new POIs, like, for example, Logjam Lotus, a mix of Logjam Lumberyard with, like, old locations like the pirate ship. We got Lazy Lagoon in place of the Daily Bugle, one of my favorite map changes. We got Shuffled Shrines. We got the new, like, Coral Castle mixed Sleepy Sound. I don't think people like that one. We got, like, the new, like, Condo Canyon mixed with the Battleground place from Chapter 2, Season 5. It was really, really cool map changes. And I think the updates outside of the summer update were great. I thought this season had great pace with great updates, except for the summer. The summer was stale this season, and that's the one big con for this season. Everything else I really liked. The Battle Pass is not my favorite, but you know what? I don't think Battle Passes determine the enjoyment of the season. We're not ranking Battle Passes here, people. We're ranking gameplay-wise. We might do Battle Passes in a different video. But gameplay-wise, it was stale at summer, but otherwise we had good updates. I think the loot pool, well, it was weak. It had good balance. So it wasn't, like, annoying to play, if you know what I mean. Alright, Chapter 3, Season 3, B, really underrated. Yeah. Alright, on to the next season, Chapter 3, Season 4, and this is one of the lowest rated seasons on Fortnite.gg, and I have to agree with you guys. This one was bad. This one sucked. This season just was not for me. I mean, okay, Chapter 3, Season 3 had a weak loot pool with guns that felt fine to use but just weren't strong. This season had not only weak guns, but guns that felt awful to use. That's the one thing I think differences this from Vibin. I don't dock points for Vibin because even though the guns were weak, they didn't feel bad. The guns felt bad in this season too. They really did. The storyline was very interesting, only to go nowhere. I mean, the Fracture event is a part of this. It was atrocious. The storyline basically died from that live event. I mean, it's... Fracture's one to forget, man. I remember just... I couldn't believe what I was seeing. It was atrocious. But this season had really weak weapons. We had the Eva Chrome shotgun, which... What? The crosshair? Have you seen the crosshair? Like, what is that crosshair on that gun? It's absolute garbage. I'm sorry, the Eva Chrome shotgun is absolute garbage. The Chrome AR that season was fine. I thought it was, well, it was fine. Like, I wasn't going to use it. I didn't care about it because it sucked. It did suck. It felt slow. I think the only things I really liked about this season was, like, the vaults that you could get from keys. I mean, man, I don't know why Fortnite has not brought that back with keys. Fortnite, we need to bring keys back and bring these vaults across the map back, especially in this season, Chapter 6, Season 2. It would make it so much better. So much better. I'm telling you, it would make it so much better. I'm just saying, it would. I hope they do. But that was good. And that was really it. Yeah, it was a boring season. Battle Pass was atrocious. I mean, if you rank Battle Passes, you'll probably understand where I'm going to put it when we do that video. But And then I just talked about how the live event was atrocious. It really gave the season a bad taste in my mouth. Fortnite Mirrors was awful. I mean, we had a howler clause that didn't even work. The updates I don't even remember. They added a goo gun, which was just annoying. I hated that thing. Just yeah, this season really suffered and just I don't know why people like this season. I guess you thought the guns felt good. I guess Fortnite Mirrors wasn't stale for you. I don't know. All right, but you know what? It didn't matter that this season was bad because Chapter 3 for the most part was pretty good as you can see. But I think Chapter 4 it stepped it up a notch for sure. And the season 1, damn. I'm going to put it in gray. I'm going to say it's better than Resistance. Better than Resistance. It had less updates, but the updates weren't repetitive. This is something that if Resistance had updates like Chapter 4 Season 1, it probably would have been S tier, argue for the best season. This season was awesome. I mean, the start of the chapter, it was the first time I've ever done a new chapter. I remember Chapter 3 Season 4. I was just sitting on the couch. It was a Sunday afternoon, right? My team had already played. You know, I watch football. I watch the NFL on Sundays. It was during the NFL season, and the Broncos had lost that day. This is back when they really sucked, so it kind of didn't matter. I didn't have really any care that they lost. You know, game was over. They played early in the day. I was watching the Fortnite FNCS Global Championship Finals from 2022, and they announced the live event. The live event is not what I got excited about. It's that it was the finale, and it meant we were going to Chapter 4. And when I figured out we were going to Chapter 4, I was freaking out. I was so excited. I remember it was like 3 weeks before the season, and I'm just like, give this season to me. Just bring it. Just release it. I just want to play it. Oh, man. This season was awesome. Kinetic Hammer came in the game. Oh, my gosh. I love that thing. Mobility was awesome. The Red Eye, the Thunder Shotgun, the Twin Mag SMG, some of my favorite guns I've ever used in this game. I just love Chapter 4, and this season was great. Winterfest was a miss, unfortunately. Although I don't think it's the worst of the worst. I think, you know, we have to appreciate it. It was better than Summer Update and Fortnite Mirrors Update that we got in Chapter 3. But really, this one was, you know, like I said, mid. But then we got in, after that, we got, the game felt, after that, kind of stale, but fun. And then we got the best mid-season update of all time, in my opinion. We got the 5 new heisted mythics. We had the heisted breacher shotgun, the heisted accelerant shotgun, the heisted explosive AR, the explosive red eye, the twin mag SMG exotic. It was just, what an update. What an update. I don't know if all Fortnite's going to do it any better. Oh, and then the other exotic I'm missing, the exotic P90 that gave you, like, speed boost. But yeah, nonetheless, this was an amazing update. This added vaults. I love when Fortnite does these heist teams. It was, to some people, it felt stale, but to me, it didn't. It felt like a crazy mid-season update. It was awesome. I really enjoyed it. I can't remember what they called the event, but I just enjoyed it. It was an original mid-season Fortnite event with a mini battle pass. The last time we've had an original, like, a mid-season event with a mini battle pass. All of them are collabs these days. This one, it feels like a bit of nostalgia in a way because we have so many collabs, but Chapter 4 Season 1, really great season. But all Fortnite did was just topped it off better. I think since I've started playing the game, this is my favorite season I've played. Chapter 4 Season 2. Yeah, this is my favorite season I've played for sure. This one is so criminally underrated. We've had like 30-something seasons. This one's like basically right in the middle of the pack. How is this in the middle of a pack out of all Fortnite seasons? This season is incredibly good. Chapter 4 Season 2. Man, this season was just awesome, man. I love this season so much. It holds a special place in my heart. I mean, amazing battle pass. The Japanese theme felt like it was executed perfectly. We just had the colors there. Mega City with the neon lights. It felt like Tokyo, Japan in such a cool way. I think Mega City is better than Tilted. Hot take. But I like Mega City better, right? That's just that color. aesthetic to it. The vaults were a thing this season, the mythics, everything was just so fun. I remember the Havoc Pump Shotgun was so good. It was the funnest shotgun I've ever used in Fortnite. We had the Red Eye. We had Havoc AR. Okay, that one was a miss, but didn't really matter. Um, and the updates this season were great. I mean, we had two exceptional updates. We had the ODM gear with the Thunder Spears, which weren't great, but the ODM gear was what hit when the Attack on Titan collab. And then we had the Star Wars update, and this one, man, I don't know if you guys remember this one well, but the throwable attacks, this was a blast. This season was a blast from the very start to the end. We had the Kinetic Blade as well. The loophole just felt good. The guns felt good. This season was just repetitively addicting and fun. This was just, I don't know how Fortnite's going to make a better season than this. It's going to take a long, long time because the map was exceptional. The updates were exceptional. The battle pass was great. The loot pool was great. Just felt like something. Mythics. I remember when the Loot Island came out for the first time, the overclocked pulse rifle. I think the only time that Loot Island has been more maybe emphasized was Chapter 6, Season 1 with the invisibility medallion. But this one, brought that high risk, high reward. The overclock pulse rifle, which might be the best mythic ever to come to the game. It was crazy overpowered. It was so fun. Everybody would fight for it. I mean, I remember watching people like Typical Gamer, and there would be, the whole island. There'd be, 8 people up there. And the whole island in the capture point is covered in builds. The island's 70% covered in builds. That's how much people wanted that mythic. It was just one of the coolest things. And it never got old. Chapter 4, Season 2, S tier. Gonna be a hard season to top. Alright, next season, Chapter 4, Season 3, Wilds. And this one... C or D. Feels like it... Yeah, it feels like a C tier to me. I think this season is rightfully not the best. I don't think it's bad, but I don't think it's great either. It's not great, it's not bad, it's mid. I remember the start of it, I liked it. I mean, obviously, every season's fun the first week, right? But this season just was stale. It was just quite stale. I mean, we had some good weapons added. I mean, the Sharptooth shotgun was fine, but, I think I would have just rather had Fortnite bring back the pump. Right, and then the Mammoth Pistol was awesome. I mean, that made the last part of the season kind of fun. This season gets a lot of hate because of the new jungle biome. I really didn't hate this biome that much. I didn't think it was as bad as people saw, but I can understand. It was kind of low. It was dense, but I liked it. I think the jungle biome was fine. I didn't have any complaints with it. As a zero build player, it's not going to affect you, and you guys can understand. The jungle biome's not going to affect no build players. It felt like maybe a more interesting way to play the game. I don't think the loot pool is as bad as people make it look. The new Flapjack Air was okay. It wasn't awful. The MK Alpha was kind of, it was fine. Again, just bring back the MK7, right? So it was okay. I think a little bit overhated though, in my opinion. But the next season 3. Maybe I'll agree with you guys more. I will rank. Alright, on to Chapter 4, Season 4. And this season, another awesome one. I'm going to put it in S behind Chapter 3, Season 1. This was great. This is the first heist season we've had since Chapter 2, Season 2. And there are people who whine about it, saying it's a copy-paste from Chapter 2, Season 2. Well, you can say that, but I think it was a different design. It was a different version. Chapter 2, Season 2 is the original design for heist seasons, and this one's a little bit different. And I really like that. I think the loot pool was pretty good. I mean, we had the Scope Burst SMG, not a great gun. The Infiltrator Pump, not great. The Twin Mag AR was one of my favorite guns of all time. Still a shot. We had other strong shotguns from previous Chapter 4 seasons. And I just really enjoyed the season. A lot of cool things came. Fortnite Mayors was alright this season. I mean, they added the wood stake shotgun. We can forget that one was awful. The season was very fun at the end because of the Kinetic Blade came back, and everyone loves a Kinetic Blade. It's a fan favorite item. Why wouldn't it be? So much fun to use. I remember the Storm Towers came this season, where you could put the keycard in and see future Storm Circles. That was really cool. I mean, every game felt fast. We had the Rocket Ram, and then you had those secret areas. What I remember with the Rocket Ram, where you ram through it and you'd be at the bottom, right next to the vault on the boss before everybody. It was really cool. This season was a blast. And it felt perfect. It felt basically perfect. I would definitely play this season again. Awesome season. Fortnite, I think Chapter 6 Season 2, just like this season, but a little bit different. Chapter 6 Season 2. When I say I love high Steam seasons, I really do. You got to execute the rest of the season. Now let's go. All right. This one's. I said Mega was my favorite season. I'm wrong. No. OG. OG. This shocked the world. I don't think anybody, when the start of Chapter 4 came out, or the start of 2023 for Fortnite came out, I don't think anybody thought that this was going to happen. I remember Tim Sweeney told content creators, according to Sheena one time, I remember the tweet. He said that Tim Sweeney told content creators there were big things that were going to happen in 2023. We're all like, okay? I don't think we expected this. And man, Tim Sweeney, credit to him, because I know we didn't think it at the time, but he was foreshadowing this return. The OG season is easily a top 3 season. I mean, this is the best Chapter 1 seasons. Season 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 combined. And they managed to make Season 9 and X better. They made Season X better by not bringing back the mechs. They recreated the black hole event. I remember just sitting there like, I was just shocked. I couldn't believe what was happening. I mean, it was probably the highest of highs that I've been hyped in this game ever. I mean, this season just brought me so into love with this game. I already fallen in love with the game, but this felt like that moment that you would never forget in Fortnite. And people that played OG, especially, coming back for the first time in 7 years or whatever, is something people will never forget. It was the old weapons, the old map. I mean, we got a new season every week. This was just amazing. And it holds a special place in a lot of people's hearts. And really defines what the love for Fortnite really is. In all the people who have stuck with this game for so long. Alright, and now we go on to Chapter 5, Season 1. Coming into this season, this community was the most hyped probably since maybe the start of Chapter 3. It was insane how hyped this community was. And although Chapter 5 has its problems, this season really didn't miss that bad. I'll give it a B. And it was better than Chapter 3, Season 3, in my opinion. I felt this season started off pretty nice. Like, it was really fun at the start. Learning weapon attachments, learning the new guns. You know, it felt like a different learning curve, and I felt like I think all of us felt like we were playing Call of Duty. I do think the meta, and just the game and the season in general had better potential than what it was actually given. Kind of a story of Chapter 5. I mean, bullet drop was not the best thing, so the guns felt weird but usable. The guns weren't truly awful. I mean, you were able to put weapon attachments on them, so it was no problem. And speaking of weapon attachments, this is the best they were handled all chapter. I mean, it was pretty accessible to get them. I mean, if you landed at a boss POI and got the medallion, you were going to get weapon attachments. If you didn't, you could go in and get weapon attachments later in the game. So I liked that. The sniper was very overpowered. I remember that. This season, where it really lacked was updates. Winterfest was an absolute dog crap update. I don't ever want to see the Winterfest again. They didn't try. I thought after that the Ninja Turtles update was pretty cool. But other than that, there weren't really any updates. There was one where it added like the new like stealth, like when you crouch, you're invisible. This season had so much more potential. It got stale at times, but because of how well it started, I'll give it a B, a very low B, by the way. All right, on to Chapter 5, Season 2, and this season came out swinging. Like, it really started hot. From this to the first update, where we got the floor is lava, this was incredible. But after that, this season just went downhill. First half was really good, and the second half was just not great. I'll give this season a C. I mean, second half, I just don't know what Fortnite was thinking. I mean, they removed rarities, which was really bad. Avatar literally took over what made the season start so good. The Thunderbolt of Zeus, the wings, the Chains of Hades, all those were taken away. And it just really, like, the theme was lost. It just really sucked. Avatar took over the game and was mediocre collab, not the greatest. And then after that, we got a really lackluster Star Wars update. Weapon attachments became less accessible this season with weapon bunkers. Warforged JR was inconsistent. I remember the Gatekeeper shotgun was literally the meta, the most overpowered thing I've ever seen in my life. And that's about it. This season, it's mid. Started off hot, it went downhill really fast. Yeah. All right, Chapter 5, Season 3, wrecked. Not even an argument. Not even an argument. This is worse than Chapter 2, Season 6 if I were to play that season. And I know stuff about older Fortnite seasons, even though I didn't play Chapter 2, Season 6. I've seen that season, and I agree with a lot of people that it's one of the most awful seasons. But this season's worse than it. I mean, I thought the first couple weeks were fun, but I knew that with the cars, even if they're overpowered the whole season, that it wouldn't be sustainable. It would eventually get boring. I mean, this season, the first couple weeks was a blast. I mean, we had overpowered cars. It was fun. But here's the problem. Fortnite decided to not split the loot pools right away. And it was constantly on social media, wherever, casuals and competitive just going at it over and over and over again. It was ridiculous that Fortnite just nerfed the cars into the ground. And also added counters, which made the season feel very pointless. And after that, this was just like, the cars, because they were pointless, felt annoying. The game barely updated. I mean, Pirates of the Caribbean came into the game, the most awful collab. It added a ship in a bottle, useless mobility item. This season basically got no updates for the final month. And Reload came and everyone switched to Reload because this season was just lost. I mean, after the cars were nerfed, the Nitro Fists were literally the meta. They were so annoying to fight. This season just sucked. It really did. It was bad. It sucked. I mean, I cannot explain how bad this season really is. I mean, if Fortnite were to split the loot pools right away, and would have like ranked and competitive playlists, not have like the cars and Nitro Fists, then maybe this season would have had a chance where Fortnite would have been able to keep the cars and stuff very strong. They could have just added counters, and maybe this season would have been better. I still don't think it would have been that high of a ceiling. Maybe a B tier high of a ceiling, but they made some really bad decisions that kept the season from maybe being a good season that I think a community can all agree to be like a B tier season to just being the most atrocious season I've ever seen of all time. It was rough. And it didn't get much better in Fortnite Absolute Doom. I hated this one more than Paradox. This one was bad. I mean, the only reason this one is not buddies with Wrecked in the F tier is because of the final 3 weeks in the Fortnite Mirrors update were pretty good. Other than that, this season was a hot mess. I mean, it started off with the jetpacks and stuff for like the first 5 days being fun. Still not perfect. We still had the Captain America shield being super busted. That got nerfed. And then the jetpacks had it decreased spawn rate. I think it was like 5% or something to find a jetpack. It was just awful. I mean, It was literally unfair. If someone else had a jetpack and you didn't, you couldn't win. It was impossible. I mean, this season, Fortnite did not play test the game properly for the season. We were using guns with bullet drop, trying to hit players out of the air, sometimes without a scope on like an AR like the Striker Burst, trying to hit people out of the air with these jetpacks. It was impossible to fight. And if they had the War Machine's arsenal, which got a bit of a nerf, so they weren't the worst, but if you had a jetpack, they were still pretty badly overpowered. And then the auto turret should never ever have been in the game in the first place. An item that shoots for you, yikes. I mean, that's bad. That's really, really bad. This season was atrocious. Oh, and then the Iron Man Flight Kit and Combat Kit came into the game, and that thing... Flight Kit was fine, it was fun, but the Combat Kit was super overpowered and should have never been in the game. And this season was just a disaster. Chaos of disaster. Almost maybe as bad as Season X, maybe worse than Wrecked. At the moment, it was worse than Wrecked. Maybe even worse than Season X. And then Chapter 5, like, for some reason ended on a good note. They vaulted the jetpacks. The game just became a lot more playable. Fortnite meters came and there was a new mobility item that kind of replaced it in the chainsaw. And that Fortnite meters update kind of turned the season from being an atrocious season to being just a not great season. This season is super lucky. Like, it dodged a bullet of being, like, bad by a long shot to being a not great season, but, like, it could have been worse. So, yeah, that's where I sit on Chapter 5, Season 4. As you can see by these rankings, Chapter 5, pretty rough chapter. And I would even consider Chapter 2 Remix Chapter 5. I mean, this is mid. I'm sorry. This was mid. This was not good. I'll put this higher than Wild and Remix at the top of C. I mean, this season was just not hype. It really wasn't. Chapter 2 just isn't it. I mean, we brought back the vaults came back from Chapter 2, Season 2, and it was fun the first week, rediscovering that. It was kind of fun, but, like, the one complaint people had was they didn't like how rappers were taking over the boss POIs. I didn't mind that. I actually enjoyed that quite a bit. But it just felt really rough. I mean, this is supposed to be Chapter 2, Season 1, 2, and 3. There's no Season 3 in here. I mean, Caddy Corner and the Charged Shotgun, that's all, but does it matter? No, because it was a single shotgun and a single POI. Caddy Corner is not even the size of a POI, by the way. And this season just missed the mark. I mean, it was boring the whole time. Just really stale and boring. They would add a new boss POI, and that was kind of it. This just very mid. It was, tough, and I think there are a lot of people questioning the future of Fortnite. I felt confident about it, though, even though a lot of people didn't. And that brings us to Chapter 6, Season 1. And this is one of the most interesting seasons the game's ever seen. I don't think a season will ever start out, like, unbelievably great to, in the final month, going down to, like, oh, it was good. I don't know if that'll ever happen again, but it did with this season somehow. It started off exceptional. I mean, we had the Sentinel, Pump, the Hollow Twister, all new guns. Hit Scan was back. It felt like Fortnite again. We had a really good map, vibrant colors. Winterfest was really good for the first time in forever. All I can tell you guys is, since Charlie Wentz taken over the game, I think when they started caring about seasonal events again, Charlie Wentz said, all right, Fortnite mirrors, all right, we're going to start caring about these again. I'm just going to tell you guys, Fortnite seasonal events are back. 110%. I mean, I can't wait to see what they do this summer, because I just think I'm confident about Fortnite seasonal events. Like, they feel like they're cared for now again, which is a really positive sign for the future of the game. And Winterfest was great. The Typhoon Blade is really where I have the issues. Also, the Godzilla update was exceptional, too. And the season felt really fast-paced and fun. Right now, it's like, this season's awesome. This is an S tier, right? After the Godzilla update, the final months, no. 3 weeks, whatever. 2.5, really. Just not good. I mean, all they did was they vaulted the railgun, the explosive repeater, like, ugh, God. Just, ugh. People learn how to use the Typhoon Blade slash attack, which wasn't nerfed worth the long shot. Just, just really rough. It was frustrating. Damn, dude, the slash attack took no skill. The explosive repeater, you didn't even have to shoot player. You could shoot the ground and do damage. The railgun, I mean, dude, this season worked in Chapter 2, Season 7 because the whole meta was overpowered. That's what I say with Fortnite is you want to hold, if you want to add a bunch of overpowered guns, the way that it's balanced is if the whole meta has overpowered weapons, which is exactly what Chapter 2, Season 7 had. This season really didn't. I mean, if there's weapons that are 10 times worse than the same meta, then it shouldn't be in the game. Like shooting through a rock, shooting through cars. Railgun was just obnoxious. And loot pool balancing is the biggest flaw this season by a long shot. I'll put it in B. I mean, it's better than all these seasons, obviously. But man, I'm sad that the potential of it was so much better than what it actually gave us. It narrowly beats this season because of how poor the loot pool balancing was. And then Lawless, I'm not going to rank. I don't want to rank an incomplete season. It started off well. We're only 4 days into the season, 5 days maybe. We're barely into the season. I can't, you know, make my thoughts on the season. It's off to a good start. I really like it. We'll see where it goes. I think this season's got a lot of potential. All right, there you have it. That is my season rankings of all the Fortnite seasons I have played. Let me know what you guys think in the comments about the seasons I've ranked. How do you feel about this list? What do you rate it out of 10? Let me know. Hope you guys found this video interesting, informative. And as always, thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.